MaxPlay 10 Classic Retro Games is a collection that consists of unofficial remakes of classic video games. It was produced by Code Junkies and published by the UK-based company called Daddle. Or Daddle? Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce that, but it was released all the way back in 2004 for the PlayStation 2 and the GameCube. Now for me, Daddle is most famous for developing the Action Replay, which is the brand name of a cheating device that can be found for a lot of different gaming systems like the PSP, PlayStation 2, and even the Xbox, and more. But they also made memory cards for the PlayStation 2, and this disc was included as a bonus if you bought their Max memory card. So now the question is, were these games actually worth the time? Let's find out. Now before we begin, I should mention that, unfortunately at the moment, I can't record gameplay directly from my PlayStation 2, so the best I can do is record my TV screen with the camera. Yeah, I'm really sorry about this, but don't worry, it's not that bad. I'll begin with Chopper 2. First thing that you gotta do is enter a name. After that's done, you get to the level selection screen. There's 4 worlds or episodes, and it seems that each of these worlds has 4 stages. But if you want to play them all, then you're gonna have to start finishing the levels one by one, and good luck finding the patience for that. So you select the first available level, the game begins and wait, how the fuck did I lose? Okay, at first I was confused. I was tapping all the buttons like crazy and I still kept crashing over and over again, until I found out that you have to hold down the X button to make the chopper go up. But it doesn't go up instantly, it slows down first and then rises. Okay, so that makes sense, but the game starts so abruptly you barely have any time to react. Now, what a bullshit way to begin the game. How about a countdown, or how about showing me which fucking button do I gotta press to make the chopper go up, you stupid assholes? So anyway, this is what the game's all about, dodging obstacles. Touch anything and you're back at the beginning of the level. As you progress further, it actually gets quite challenging, with more narrow pathways and sometimes the blocks blend in with the background, and that can really mess you up. So you have to be in control and concentrate. One small miscalculation and you're dead. Now what's weird is how these levels end. I mean, look at this. There's no indication that it's about to be finished, and I just find that a bit amusing, like they couldn't draw a simple finish line or something. The second world is in the clouds, and from here it gets way too complicated for me. Of course I could beat the game eventually, but as I said before, good luck finding the patience to actually do it. So let's move on to the next game. Loop the Loop. Wow, just look at that title screen. Seems very inviting. Yeah, I know that these are unofficial games and whatever, but come on, this looks like something a 2-year-old would make in Microsoft Paint. Now the game pretty much plays like that classic Snake game. I even got a bit nostalgic and found my childhood phone that has Snake 2 on it. Down in its core, Loop the Loop is basically the same thing. You move the snake, eat, and the snake grows. But there's a few exceptions. First of all, you're not actually a snake. You're just some line. Yeah, even the instruction says that. A line that eats fruit and kills butterflies. Secondly, you know how in Snake you can't touch yourself or the screen borders? Well, here you can do that. You can even go through yourself. That's just weird. But I do like that you can also move diagonally. Now, since you cannot be an obstacle to yourself, we have enemies in this game, like snails, lizards, butterflies, and smiley faces? What the fuck? That doesn't make any sense. On my first try, I thought that the smiley face is a power-up or something. Whatever. So you kill enemies by doing a loop around them. You got 2 lives, and if you touch an enemy, you're dead. But what really pisses me off is this thing. What is that? Is that a crosshair? Why does it have to be so far away from the line, or that big? A couple of times I accidentally shifted my focus on that crosshair and it got me killed. Why can't it just be a simple red dot in front of the line? What a stupid ass idea. Let's just move on to the next game. Invaders. Or is it From Above? On the game selection screen it says Invaders, but the title screen says From Above. So what, they couldn't decide or something? Wait, why the fuck am I even thinking about this? Who cares? The game is basically Space Invaders and that's about it. You got 3 lives, avoid getting shot, destroy all the aliens before they reach down, and once you do it starts all over again. It sucks that there's no sound effects though, at least my copy doesn't have any. All you can hear is this crappy music. Yeah, enjoy that shit. Well, next game. Dragon Tiles 3. This one's a puzzle game. Memorize the picture and... Wait, why does it say press button A? This is the PlayStation version, right? And the PlayStation controller doesn't have an A button. The GameCube controller has an A button. So maybe this disc is compatible with both consoles? Unfortunately, I don't have the GameCube to check, so your guess is as good as mine. Now, let's talk about the game. You hit the X button to scramble the pieces, and the first thing you'll notice is how goddamn long it takes. It's like a loading screen. I mean, come on, the game's not exactly anything special and it's actually making me wait. What an asshole. Why can't it just do it instantly? Like this. Gameplay-wise, all you have to do is move the blocks around and form a picture, so there's not much else to say, but the game has one feature that I find kinda strange. It's called number mode. If you hit the select button, then the pictures on the blocks change into numbers, and maybe I don't get this, but to me it seems like a really dumb shit idea. Because if I can just go into number mode, I don't even have to memorize the picture in the beginning. It makes it so much more easier to assemble, and once you do, the game's over. Yeah, just one fucking picture over and over again. I think it's time to move on. Proxima. Well, it's a lame space shooter that's played from a top-down perspective, and the game is boring as shit. In the beginning, it kind of annoyed me that the aircraft is in the middle of the screen, since it makes attacking incoming enemies a bit more annoying. But the reason for this, I suppose, is that this is not a continuous level that goes on, it's more like a sealed-off section, and if you keep moving in one direction long enough, then at some point you will be stopped by invisible walls, and sometimes enemies can attack you from behind. So all you do is just fly back and forth again and again while shooting down enemy ships. You got 3 lives and even a health bar. Now, maybe I didn't play it long enough, but as far as I know, this is the only map in the game. What I also don't get is when do the enemies spawn? Sometimes I'm just flying all around the place and there's no one attacking me. What also makes the game even more boring is that there's no power-ups. And by the way, what's with this crap-ass music? Where are the goddamn sound effects? I guess one of the few good things that I noticed are the explosions when you kill an enemy. For a game like this, it looks pretty good, and that's about it. So, next one. Paddle Panic. We've all played a game like this before. Control the paddle, direct the ball, and knock out the blocks. However, this game has a formula that I've actually never seen before. At first you get this map screen. The main objective is to collect all the hearts and you have to pay attention to the arrows. For example, you start from here, and if you take a look at the arrows, then you're gonna see that the ball cannot go out from the up, down, and the left side of the screen because the arrow is in the opposite direction or it's not present at all. If that happens, you lose a life. So what you need to do is follow the arrows and direct the ball to the screen where the heart is. Now what makes the game quite challenging is that you have to control 4 paddles, and I think it's challenging in a good way. The only thing that bothers me is the choppy movement. It's like the game is lagging or something. You might not see it from the video, but if you could experience this yourself, then you would know exactly what I mean. But other than that, I'd say this one's not that bad. So let's keep moving. Jetpack 2. Alright, now we're talking. Out of all the games on this disc, I think this one's the most fun. On the menu screen, you can pick how many enemies you want to fight against, select a map, and the map variety is good. You can also choose if you want the map to be indestructible, if you want the jetpack fuel to deplete, and I have no idea what goal game is, but who cares, because this game is awesome. It doesn't look anything special, but goddamn is it fun. So you're this little turd, and all you gotta do is kill in this never-ending slaughterfest. You got different weapons like assault rifle, bazooka, grenades, hovering mines, explosives, and you can fly around with the jetpack. On the top right corner we got 2 bars. The blue one is for oxygen if you happen to play in levels that have water, and the red one is for the jetpack fuel. In the top left corner we have the health bar, kill and death counter, and you can also see how many missiles and grenades you currently have. Now the gameplay is friggin' insane and hilarious. You're gonna see some crazy battles. Bodies blown to bits, shot dead with bloodstains everywhere. So when you're selecting the amount of enemies, I think there's no reason to go below maximum, which is 4. The more, the merrier, and that's basically it. I really wish that I could play this game with a friend in co-op. That would be so awesome. But if I have to complain about something, then I gotta ask the same question. Where are the fucking sound effects? It's just music again. Come on. Anyway, at least the game's a blast to play for some time, so next game. Popham. The concept is simple. All you gotta do is pop balloons. You got 3 lives, and if you touch a balloon, you're dead. Yeah, killer balloons. And this is the entire game. What can I say? Besides that, it's boring. I do wonder what that thing is that pops the balloons though. What the hell is that? Well, beats me. Let's just move on. Superpower Shot. In this one, you control a ball, and the objective is to collect stars. Collect all the stars to beat the level, and you have to plow through lots of different obstacles to get the stars. Using right and left on the D-pad controls direction, and using up and down determines how fast the ball will go. As you progress further, the levels get more challenging with more complicated obstacles, and there's a time limit as well. Fail to collect all the stars within the given time limit, and the ball dies. Now, I gotta say, having to aim with the D-pad is a pain in the ass because it keeps jumping all around. Sometimes it feels like it's impossible to line up a shot the way you want. It would be so much better if you could aim with the analog stick, but the analog doesn't work for shit, and for me, it just fucks up the game. So, let's finish this up. Finally, last game, Bounty Hunter. Or, wait, is it Bounty Hunter X? Looks like they couldn't decide again. And look, it's one of those fancy title screens. Wow! So first of all, you gotta pick the difficulty and then select a secondary weapon. We got Big Bang, invincibility for a few seconds, or kill all enemy bullets? Now how the fuck does that work? Anyway, the game is basically a side-scrolling space shooter. As usual, you got 3 lives, but no life bar, which means 1 hit then you're dead. In the game, you gotta kill monsters. Monsters drop coins, and with enough coins, you can use that second weapon that you selected in the beginning, like killing all enemy bullets. But why do the bullets have to look like sissy pink circles, and some of these enemies look nothing like monsters? Never mind. The game itself is kind of passable. There's different environments, enemy types, and even boss battles. Also, the level of difficulty for each choice is appropriate, and at times it really puts your skills to the test. I mean, look at all this shit. Well, in the end, it's a crappy looking game without any sound effects but a challenging son of a bitch, if you crank the difficulty up. And that's all I gotta say. Time to wrap it up. So were these games worth the time? Well, looking back, it makes me wonder. Who the hell would have wanted to play this in 2004? I mean, in my neighborhood, there wasn't a single kid who actually gave 2 fucks about this, and for good reason. We were playing games like San Andreas, Manhunt, Spider-Man 2, Far Cry, and so on. But I do have to admit, when I got the disc, I was a bit excited at first, and yes, there actually was a few good moments to be found, but that excitement was very short-lived. I still remember my reaction from back then. I was like, what is all this shit? This is lame. So I put it away, and this disc had been sitting in my stash for more than 10 years until a couple of weeks ago when I rediscovered it. In the end, it still sucks for the most part. Yes, it does have a couple of fun moments, but after all, it's a bunch of unofficial games, so there's not much you can expect. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.